So good afternoon, America. It is 3:50 p.m. on this Friday, February 6, 2026. 36 degrees here in New York. Bright sunshine. Not too bad. It's supposed to get very, very cold this weekend. Hi, Brian. It's supposed to get very, very cold this weekend. But as of right now, we got bright sunshine and 36 degrees here in New York. So it's not a bad weather afternoon at all. You know, I really enjoy the sun. There's so much energy in the sun. Sun's good for your vitamin D. You know, yeah, we made it through another week. We are so happy, healthy, and just so grateful and still maintaining a attitude of gratitude and nothing to complain about. No complaints whatsoever. Everything is wonderful here in my world, you know. So, yeah. I wanted to chime in on, you know, what's circulating now around the internet. You know, people are just so disingenuous and so wicked and evil and hateful. And I don't understand why. You know, no matter how many times that video of the Obamas, the cartoon actually of the Obamas, you know, depicted as monkeys, all right? No matter how many times that is debunked and saying that it is not from President Trump, okay? People are still digging in and they're still regurgitating and repeating it over and over and over again as to hoping that something sticks. They are so desperate to get anything, any tidbit of dirt on President Trump. And this latest attempt, all right, is just so petty and just so childish. So petty and so childish. All right, you got TMZ, you got CNN, you got ABC, you got Letitia James, all of them regurgitating the same thing over and over again. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? And if you were to look at the whole entire minute or something clip, you got Joe Biden in there the cartoon has Joe Biden as a monkey eating a banana. All right. So how come y'all are not in? How come y'all don't got your panties all in a bunch about that? Right. So I just don't understand. Your people are just so desperate to create a narrative, to create a distraction away from now. I think it's $4.2 billion in fraud that they just uncovered in California, right? Anything to keep the focus of the American public off of what is really happening. With all the arrests, all right, that ICE is making of some really, really bad, dangerous, vicious people who were let into our country by Joe Biden. And these people have been walking around us, living around us for the past 4 to 5 years. These are some vicious, bad people that were let into our country to roam free. All of our safety has been at risk. All right? All of our safety has been put directly at risk. And 4,000 and counting people, all right, are already victims of these violent people that were let into our country. The voter ID. Chuck Schumer. You want to talk about racist? Chuck Schumer came out and made a statement that requiring voter ID is like Jim Crow 2.0. In other words, as to say that black people are too dumb to have a ID. Too stupid. It's an insult towards blacks. Who remembers when Kathy Hochul came out and said that the black kids from the Bronx don't know what a computer is? Those two statements are direct. If nothing else was racist, those two statements are extremely racist. And then another elected official came out and said that married women, voter ID will make it hard for married women to vote because they don't have proper identification. Like, if that's not the most sexist thing that I ever heard. Like, if millions of married women are too lazy to go down there and handle their business and get their IDs changed to their legal name. So, we want to focus on a cartoon that Trump didn't even make, all right? And by the way, that staff member who did that and circulated that or posted that or whatever, they need to be fired immediately. It shouldn't even be, ruin their career over. Never get another job in government again, ever. Why would Trump do something like that when he knows that there are people out there, the media is out there looking for any little thing to take and run and to distract from what's really going on? On this Black History Month, why would he intentionally depict Michelle and Barack Obama as monkeys? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't add up. Even if he was racist, why would he do that now? Why wouldn't he wait until next month to do it? So the people who are reacting to this stuff, especially the media and the other politicians who are looking to get whatever they can on Trump, right? Y'all need to stop being so damn hypocritical and disingenuous. You are the biggest threat against the American people because of the false and misinformation that you're putting out there. So I just wanted to chime in this afternoon real quick. A lot of people are on, so I'm going to say hi to everybody. Brian Powers said hi. Rosemary Malfa. Carpenetto is watching. Cynthia Hayes is watching. Cynthia said hello there. Cynthia is watching. Cynthia says, I haven't seen it, and respectfully, I do not want to. Amen. It's stupid. It's stupid. All right. Christine Marie said, hey there. Marlene Barnes is watching. Christine Marie, people like them are the problem. Marlene is still watching. Bradley, I hope everybody is pissed off enough to vote these, I can't say that word, these effers out. The governor and Schumer, yes. So, thank you all for chiming in this afternoon. My name is Madeline Brame, and I am a National Crime Victims' Rights Advocate. I am the CEO of Rescue Angel. I offer to you techniques and strategies for living and coping with grief. I just wanted to chime in on, what I just saw circulating on the internet. About, Trump supposedly posting this video of Michelle and Barack Obama as monkeys. There are a lot of black people that hate Trump so much, all right, that they will believe that no matter how much it's debunked. And they will believe nothing that no one says. They believe what they want to believe, because it fits their narrative. It fits right into that, but we'll say nothing about black on black crime. We'll say nothing about Chuck Schumer saying that asking for voter ID is 2.0 because niggas don't have an ID, right? And we'll say nothing about Kathy Hochul saying that YNs up in the Bronx don't even know what a computer is, right? But you'll say nothing about that. You'll say nothing about the broad daylight shooting that happened in Chicago yesterday, right? Where that girl got shot Them YNs ran up on that car and shot into the car with the baby in the car. Thank God the baby didn't get hit. But now the girl is dead. You'll say nothing about the Negro who beat his little 2-year-old son to death yesterday up in Queens. You'll say nothing about that. But you'll take that cartoon that's been debunked every which way, and you'll run with it to justify and verify in your minds that Trump is a racist, and that's why you hate him. But you got all this other racist shit going on around you that y'all sit back, you disingenuous hypocrites, you black folk, sit back and say nothing about. You let it rock. You got politicians stealing billions of tax dollars, and you say nothing about it. But you got a cartoon that's circulating, and people are blaming Trump for being racist because it depicts Michelle and Barack Obama as monkeys. But you won't take the minute and 50 seconds to look at the whole clip and see that they also have Joe Biden as a monkey too, eating a banana. All right? And you also will pay no attention. You'll completely dismiss the fact that Trump didn't know nothing about that. He's not even the one who did it. It was one of his cabinet members. Somebody in his staff did that. Okay? Which that person needs to be fired immediately. But you'll take none of that into consideration. You'll listen to Letitia James. You'll listen to CNN. You'll listen to TMZ, because those is where those are the news outlets where you get your information from. And they're lying to you the whole entire time because they need to create a narrative to frame your thinking on this Black History Month, to give you a reason to hate Trump because he's racist. You got over 2 million black babies destroyed in the womb through abortion. Because Margaret Stanger, whatever her name is, said that we need to weed out the niggers. So let's put abortion clinics in their neighborhoods. Got our young women killing the babies left and right, using abortion as a form of birth control. All of our young black men are now sexually confused, or LGBTQ, wanting to be men, would rather be with a man than with a woman. To eliminate the command that God gave Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden to be fruitful and multiply. You got the women aborting the babies, and you got the men having sex with other men instead of with a woman. But you Negroes will sit back and you'll make a big deal over that cartoon that Trump had nothing to do with it, to prove that he's a racist. Y'all are sickening, as far as I'm concerned. You're sickening. I gotta go, y'all. Because the more I think about it, the more upset I would get. Because there's so many things that black people sit back and ignore that's going on in our community that are racist, that we're doing to ourselves. I've never seen a person more racist than a black person towards another black person. I've never experienced racism in my life, except for from another black person. I've never been called a nigger before in my life, except by another black person. But y'all got all kinds of culture. That's our culture. Stupidity to explain that away. Shooting one another, that's part of our culture. Stabbing one another, raping one another, it's part of our culture. Now, I don't want to be part of that culture. And y'all shouldn't want to be either. It's a disgrace. Fighting one another. Young girls ripping each other from just so mad and so angry. Disrespecting authority. Schools got the little black kids out there protesting and marching for the illegals that are taking their stuff, removing them from their seats in the classroom. Making the classroom so overcrowded that they're getting subpar education. Teaching in Spanish when our kids can't even read and write in English. But your mothers allowed it. If you signed that permission slip to allow those kids to go out there and protest, to keep the illegals here against ICE and against, the president, you're teaching them how to disrespect authority and how to disrespect the president of the United States of America. You have no pride. You're teaching your children not to have any pride in the country or be patriotic. You're teaching them to be lawless and godless is what you're teaching them. But anything for a click, like, and share. And a viral video, like the video with them depicting Michelle and Barack as monkeys. Anything for a viral moment. That's the world we live in. In a click, a like, a share. A viral moment, a 15-minute of fame. Destroying lives. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Y'all have a good afternoon. I'm going to read some more comments, y'all. Frank Del Toro is watching. Debbie Little. William Paula Jordan. Debbie Little said amen. Barbara. Joe is watching. Antonio Jones. Yes, she should run again. I know. Okay, Cynthia says New York City needs people like you. Brian Powers said that. Okay, and don't forget about how they dropped them off into our black, broken, poverty-stricken communities, which what little resources we had was given to the illegal immigrants and their families. Yes, it was. Don't forget, y'all. Run for Congress again, Madeline. The governor, Ann Schumer. They dumped those illegals right in our neighborhood, right in our lap. And we look outside and they got beautiful homes. Big $30,000 trucks. And people have still living in the same shack they've been living in for all these years with a slumlord. Right? So, y'all black folk can sit back and you be mad at Trump all you want. Be mad at Trump all you want. You're lost. The Democrats lost. 77 million Americans said they wanted Trump to do exactly what he is doing. And he's doing it. Promises made, promises kept. Y'all have a good day.